We can talk about this while we're live because it's obvious that there's something that we're learning and figuring out. Can you switch to the room cam?
We're going.
Okay. Okay, so that's me. All right, so that's a separate camera we have set up. Tonight we have two. Can you go to this one?
Sharing it in there.
So tonight we have two cameras, and it's a little weird for me because I can't see what this one is seeing because it's a front-facing camera now, and normally I use the backwards-facing camera so I can see the screen. But oh, hello, Rachel Powell and Fundian and Chad Smith, Patrick Redding and Stanley S. And Happening Mojo, I hear you. Mumra is on the list. There is a 1 in 15 chance that it'll be Mumra tonight. 1 in 15.
Flying Ass says, hey man, have you sculpted, molded, and casted monster hands before?
Absolutely. Probably 15, 20 times. Maybe 50. A lot.
Hello,
Yes.
Lasseter.
Yes, I have.
Lasseter. Have you demolded the round disc?
I have. I did. Ooh, exciting. And I have a little bit of fixing to do on it simply because there was, oh, and I can't see it over here either, but I can look over there. Okay, there's a couple little brittle things that have cracked on it, but those are going to get repaired with the 5-minute epoxy clay that is exactly that color. So there you go.
Stan says you can see the sheet.
I don't think you can see the sheet. Can they see the sheet?
Yeah, a little
But
bit.
it's sideways.
Ross Richard says, love the interview yesterday and today's simple tutorial.
Oh, hey, thank you.
Calvin
Yeah.
says, I choose Mumra.
I thought that a simple tutorial would be good, and that was kind of something that people were talking about. So I thought it was timely, and that took a little less time to actually shoot and edit than the other one did. I didn't get to start until 8 p.m. last night, so that's good.
John C says it's blurry.
Is it blur? Am I blurry right now? Everyone, can you please tell me if I am blurry? And anyone aside from John C, please tell me if it's blurry. Because it could be your connection that makes it blurry if it's having a hard time processing the image.
Percy says, no, Rich says a little bit.
Okay. The paper is blurry. Okay, well good. I don't want you to see the paper because it was sideways.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, your mom is
Susie
on.
Gardner. That's my mom.
Hello, Stacy's mom. All right.
Does she have it going on?
She does have it going on, damn it.
Cobwebs. You're fine, Mum Ra. Very subtle with the Mum Ra references.
says,
Okay,
nope, just-
so let me.
Totally looking
Mom
at
says she's your biggest fan.
Can you go to the big camera?
Yeah.
And Rob, spin around. Up there is the camera, by the way.
Hi, Mom.
Hey everybody!
We have often
Thor.
called Damn It Rob is here, and he is going to be our guest sculptor. Be easy on him because he is not a frequent sculptor, but he is starting to pick it up. So, yeah, Stacy better behave. She got mom in the house.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm a product of that upbringing, okay? She made
I
me
think the
this
whole
way.
room camera can see this now. Oh, with multiple cameras, I got to really hide the list.
Big Ass says Ed Edmonds gave you a shout out today on his YouTube video on
Hey, Chad.
painting latex.
Oh, did he? I'll have to watch that. He's such an awesome guy. So, yeah, he's shouted out me before, and that's always cool when he does that.
Thank you, Batman. Give us $5.
Lord
Thanks,
knows
Lasseter.
that I shout out to him. Yeah, so far, what do you guys think of the cool camera switcheroo stuff that we're doing? That's kind of neat, isn't it? We'll eventually have 3 cameras, but one of them, the USB port, my computer is tired. Are we looking at this? I'm looking at this camera. Yeah, my computer is tired, so one of the USB ports is a little wonky. So yeah, I'm being very careful with that. Okay, well,
Says big time new cameras.
they don't need to see me.
Happening Motor says rest in peace, Fountains of Wayne bassist. Yeah. That was,
Who's the?
Fountains of Wayne that did Stacy's mom.
Oh, okay.
Their bass player died
Recently?
fairly recently.
Wow, that's terrible.
Chad
All right.
says, now you need a director.
So, Stacy,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure that you've been watching the names as they pop up.
Yes.
And so Rob has 7 things to choose from on his list, and we normally pick the list of the guest sculptor first so that he can get a little bit of a head start. What time is it right now?
7:36.
Yeah, Phil's head is in the way for me.
Thanks, Ezekiel. Where's my Tim Tams?
Oh, you know what? Actually, here in the fridge. We have one of the fridge cam.
What was on, Rob?
I have some Tim Tams double coat here for the room. So I'm going to have myself a celebratory Tim Tam.
Cobweb says do not put Mum Ra on Damn It Rob's list.
Mum Ra's on my list because I want Mum Ra. Have you picked 2 people?
I want Happen and Mojo, and I want Ross Richards. Y'all pick a number.
A number between 1 and 7. Pick a number for Rob between 1 and 7.
It's
Very
got
good. Hey, Scott Kohler.
Thank you, Ezekiel.
Ross got a notification went to the page, but YouTube wasn't showing it.
But you got here. How'd you do that?
Hey, third degree.
Tina says love the cameras.
Big Mom.
They're saying
Ross?
you do good.
Ross says 5,
Oh, I can't. Hi, thanks. I tried.
Okay?
and 7 for Happen and Mojo.
Okay. All right. So, Tim Tam, I'm sorry.
Mom, we didn't ask you. We'll let you know when it's time to vote here in a minute, Mom.
All right. Go to this one. On Rob's list, number 5 is Whiplash from Masters of the Universe. Number 7 is a deer skull. And we're doing a deer skull because we're going to do, I can use that for a Wendigo, I can use that for a couple different things. So I think both of those are cool for Rob to sculpt. I think one of them is a little bit more in his comfort zone. But now you guys have to pick, and you have to pick someone to do the pickery.
Yep.
And then they will have to pay attention for a few minutes while people vote.
Let's see. John C., you want to be our picker for this?
John C., you're going to carefully watch the list. People are voting in, whether it's Whiplash, who is a reptilian-headed lizard man monster, or is it going to be the skull of a deer that we can later turn into a Wendigo mask or other things?
Mom, now is when you vote.
Now, Stacy cares
Yeah.
about what you say
Mhm.
right now.
Third degree would like to see a Whiplash pick for reference.
Also, Ezekiel asked what kind of cameras we got set up.
These are actually webcam. Well, this one is my phone. That one is a nice webcam. Something HD. I'll send you a link because I know what they are.
I think the deer.
Ezekiel says enough Masters of the Universe. The deer.
Sacrilege.
Sacrilege.
They're all monsters, and I want to get through that whole set. Stacy, can you pull up the reference images up there? I know you'll lose track, but right now John C. is looking at the, and it looks like you're almost overwhelmingly
Deer skull.
going for deer skull. John C. has an easy one. Pull up Whiplash.
Let me bring up some reference material.
You should be offline, actually.
Okay.
No, you'll be okay.
I'm gonna take pictures.
Deer skull and what was it? Whiplash?
Yeah, just Whiplash. Whiplash is all they need reference of. And that third picture in. And then go to this camera.
Drive.
Yeah. Can they see that? Look at that. There we go. So this is Whiplash. Let me do this. Oh, look at how cool he is. He's a lizard man. Pull up one or two of the other pictures. Now some of these are derpy because it was a toy from the 80s. Like look at that first one. Yeah. That one makes me pretty happy. Have to zoom in on that.
Yeah. There you go.
Zoom in, zoom in. Yeah, so that I don't know.
Surprisingly, it looks better on the screen.
I like them. I like them both. It looks like we're going to be fairly overwhelmingly in the camp of deer skull so far, but you never know. A lizard man could pull out. See, the lizard man, I could also do a little bit more marini and use them in a October show. So.
You can do a deer skull.
And what does this screen look like right now? Let me get
Looks
back.
like you're sculpting this one. Hello, Brandon Marshall.
So
Brandon.
almost everybody is saying deer skull. Like
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything. John C., are you ready to call it? I'm gonna.
Cabo says, I don't see one whiplash.
Well, you just typed out whiplash, so I'm counting that one. You just typed it out.
Oh, John said he can't count votes. Sorry.
You can't. Okay.
That came off.
46 deer.
Okay. So let's just say we don't have to assign someone.
All right. Thank you, John.
I'm gonna give John the.
Shrimp.
Masato asked, are you using OBS?
We are using OBS. Yes.
Rosberger says, you never know, a lizard man could pull out new shirt idea.
These should leave
Go
my
away
table.
from him.
Should they?
They should
I
leave
don't-
my table.
I've
Fair
had
warning.
one. She's had
They're
one.
not safe with me.
The shrimp was funny. I don't know the joke behind it, but it was funny.
Shrimp is going to end up on this list.
John
This
says,
one.
one shrimp, 47 deer.
So whiplash. All right, so you can start on your deer.
You want it this way or out? Up to
You
me.
can start on your deer.
Got it.
I'm only going to change things if it's bad.
Do you need
That's-
me to pull your reference up?
He grabs some on his phone.
I have
Okay.
some.
When he needs it, he'll dive in.
For
All right.
some.
So for me, I need
Hello, 1980.
I need two people to pick numbers in between 1 and 8. Stacy, who are those two people?
Thor and Enigma.
So Thor and Enigma, pick a number between 1 and 8. Between 1 and number 8.
Enigma says, ALEXA, add capybara mask to my list. Masato says, OBS is awesome. If you guys need help, feel free to ask.
Oh, hooray. We have a Jacob. I don't know if you guys have.
Switch camera
You
away.
saw Jacob the other day on, like, you saw, like, into Jacob's armpit and his nipple mostly because of where the
Thor.
cameras were set up, but,
Thor said 8.
okay. And, you know what? Just so you know, there's actually 9 things on my list. I was wrong. There are 9 things on my list.
And Enigma says 6. Ezekiel says, bingo overturned. I'm right, it is.
So I'm gonna have
Masato says, Jacob's doing an awesome job.
I'm gonna have you guys go again. It's 1 through 9. You can pick the same number if you want, but I want to make sure that you have the option to pick 1 through 9.
Captain Motor says, pi is exactly 3. Lies.
3.14. 3.1. 3.1.
Pi ain't exactly nothing.
Realm says, I love the YouTube Wednesday.
Oh, hey, thanks. I had you in mind for that because you were talking about cheap controllers and animatronics.
Thor says 9. Enigma also says 9.
All right,
All right, come on, boys.
one of you needs to change. I just
All right,
added a number 9.
Since Thor rang in first, Enigma picks another one. Enigma says, Mumra, or we bring the plague.
Too late.
Cowboy says, we pick Mumra, start sculpting. Klondike says, Mumra, or we riot. Enigma says 6. So 6 and 9. 9 and 6.
Okay, so an interesting thing has happened because on my list are a couple EVA foam builds
Oh.
that are not me sculpting a latex mask. I'm going to build these pieces here. They're masks, but they're going to be EVA foam because that's how I would build them. Neither one of them was Mumra that was picked. My list was Ape, Hordak, Leech, Mumra, Horde Trooper, a Trapjaw helmet, that's number 6. Heptarod Hands was number 7. And an old-fashioned diving helmet is number 8. And number 9. So,
And number 9.
well, yes, I was wrong-ish, but anyway, because I thought there was 9 because old-fashioned diving helmet took up 2
2
lines.
lines.
So I thought there were 9 because I'm not the math. So there was 8, but so if you picked that twice, you were really dialed in. That's good.
Cobweb says, I feel for diving helmet.
So our 2 options are a trap jaw helmet, because I have orc masks, orc sculptures that'll work great for his face, but the helmet for trap jaw is very specific, and I would make that out of EVA foam. And then a diving helmet, like an old-fashioned diving helmet, is something that I'm going to make several of for Dark Hour. So,
Ezekiel says we only said 8 because we wanted 4 twice.
Stacy, who is picking?
Let's see. Who's here? Cobweb says I'm going to fuck them all like Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man.
Hey, the hairy beastie, you want to be our tallier?
See the joke? Juice?
All right, so Hairy Beastie. Right now it is 7:48. At 7:55, you are going to tell me what I am sculpting. All right? You are taking all of the input, and you are telling me what I am sculpting based off of the list and based off of people's votes. You tell me what I'm going to sculpt at, what time did I say? At 7:53. Just got harder.
Cobweb says it's unanimous diving helmet. Enigma
Yeah.
says diving boy.
So you guys pick from the list, and
3rd degree says looks like another landslide.
we were advised on which one. And again, you can count and you can tell me, or you can just tell me. I'm going to go with what you say, Hairy Beastie.
Masato says I cut out some serrano peppers. Now everyone in the house is coughing.
You capsaicin bombed them.
Michael Astor says diving helmet, or I'm banning hairy beastie. Cobweb says go get a bowling ball.
I'm not going to put clay on here until I know. See, now I'm thinking what do I have that's round that I can use as a base for a form?
Fawn Diane says I guess it's a dive.
Oh, I know exactly what I'll do now. Now I know how I'll do it.
Fawn Diane says gotta have a shrimp on the diving helmet.
Barnacles, yes, we'll have barnacles.
I feel like we're making the Scooby-Doo ghost on that.
Prawn stars. Oh.
I got 1 vote for Trap Jaw.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny that you picked EVA foam projects. The Horde Trooper was going to be an EVA foam project because I like that helmet design. I kind of always have. And then the Trapjaw helmet is EVA foam, which I've actually made once before already.
You can have.
On the
Jenny
slide.
says, dive.
That sold, didn't it?
Helmet. Hello, Kenny B.
Whatever Hairy Beastie types, that is what I'm going to sculpt.
Cobweb says a bowling ball, globe, balloon, kickball, basketball.
I have some sweet, large Christmas ornaments over there, and I'll do a tape form on it, and then I'll blow that up.
Spook Shack says, hi Alan, I like that motion sensor video today. Cool idea.
Hey, thank you. You know what? That's not my idea. That's been around forever. I learned it from J.B. Korn, who is, he was a Texas haunter who died early 90s, like real early 90s. So yeah, maybe mid-90s.
Enigma says, I'm voting for a capybara mask. Realm
What's
says,
with you and capybaras?
I made the heads for the witches at a great step, says Realms.
They're cool.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Capybaras are cool.
Ezekiel says, Hairy Beastie, 9 packs of Tim Tams for Mum Ra. Do it. Now they're leaning on Hairy Beastie
That's a lot of Tim Tams.
to
It's worth
to
it.
pick Mum Ra.
Mamra's awesome.
I was.
A little excited thinking I was going to
1980
get to do
says,
that.
wreck diver's helmet, go full 2000 leagues suit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. I want to do that big round head, and I have to do a couple different ones. So I'm going to do like the boiler style, where it's more of a cylinder with a dome, and then I'll do the full round ones. I have a whole Pinterest board full of old diving helmets.
Ezekiel says, otherwise Rob gets them. So comply or the spoils go to Rob.
He's diabetic, it's murder.
Three thumbs down, must have been hardcore Mumra fans.
Wow, we have 3 thumbs down already?
Apparently. Y'all smash that like button.
Wow.
Momra's awesome.
Thor said, love the YouTube Wednesday.
Hey, thank you.
He's the only human in Thundercats.
Had you guys heard of that? Have you guys been doing that? Anybody out there? Or, because there's a lot of things that I've been doing for a long time, like plastic corpsing. When I did that video, it seemed very new to a lot of people. But I also, I experiment a lot, and I try to listen to everything.
Ezekiel says, Cabo throw a tantrum.
If he throws a tantrum, he's going to throw it off the roof. That's what he do.
1980 says, I posted Sculptor versus Mumra on Creepers.
Awesome.
And then Cabo says, I gave the thumbs up. I have faith in the big guy. Misty says, I love this group. It's so much fun.
Misty Wag.
Misty Jazierski. Enigma says, what's your opinion on animatronic horror masks / characters like Chuck E. Cheese robots?
I love them. We did a haunt based on them. We actually did a haunted house called Carl's Playhouse, which took place in a pizza parlor. Carl Cleaver is a child murderer, simply because children were easier to carry into the van. So that's why he went after children. And he started a pizza place. That way they would come to him, and it was even easier. And it was very Five Nights at Freddy's. And Stacy had to be Harry Bear. It was
Bear.
one of, Willie. You were Willie Bear. That's
Willie
right.
Bear, yeah.
One of the animatronic bears, and it's that is up there with one of the weirdest masks I've ever made.
Somewhere there's a really great picture of me. The eyes look out through the nose. You saw that mask in a dream.
Yes.
Thor says yours is way
Can you-
easier to some of them out there.
Can you go to big camera
Yeah.
while we're talking about this?
There we go.
Kind of, if someone other than me is talking, then bounce it off of this one.
I'm going back and forth whenever I see you look over.
Fun
Okay,
Diane says,
got it.
actually, I've watched most, if not all of your videos.
Oh, it's a lot of your life.
Janine says, I've made the motion sensor thing a few years ago. Good to see you again. I like your tape.
Cool.
Brandon Marshall says, love that show. John C. said, we made tape hands when we were little, like your tape bodies.
Awesome.
Ezekiel says, I liked Carl's Playhouse. Cabo says, I'm very calm now because a diving helmet might look good next to my swamp witch.
Nice.
Harry Busey says, diving helmet by a landslide.
Oh, is it time? It's time.
And he says, no Tim Tams, on a diet.
Okay.
And he says, think of it as sculpt animatronic fox, just some of the fur ripped off your face.
Animatronic what?
Fox.
I heard animatronic thought, and I'm like, well,
I mean,
you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's where the real dollars are. The
Lisa
bot market.
says this is so cool. Rachel says, you need a stool. You need a seat. I can grab you a chair.
Okay, so my whole evening just changed. Yeah, all right, I'm making a diving helmet.
Christopher Lazat says, I found some Sintra type material at Home Depot. Can I make some weapon props?
That's great.
Thank you for that link to the merch shop. It's kind of cool merch. Fun Nine says, I usually run them while I'm working on different stuff. Videos. Realm says, is the big cam new?
Yes, we're using a new system right now. Jacob, why don't you tell them about the new system that I don't really understand?
Hi. So basically, we're using an encoder called OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, which allows for multiple inputs, so multi-camera streaming. So basically, we have the one back there that y'all are looking at right now that I'm waving too high. We have Alan's phone going through a NDI, which is basically like streaming over the web directly to the computer. And then we have the chance to put in some more cameras. We just have problems with one of the USB ports on the laptop, so we're working on getting that fixed. But any other questions that y'all have about that, just feel free to ask.
Happen Emoji says, I would not be a good haunt actor. If I'm dressed as an animatronic, I'd just be popping and locking the whole time.
Yeah.
We have a few of those.
That happens a lot.
Ezekiel says, Rob, I'm sending your Tim Hams to Alan. If you're a good boy, he'll pass them on.
Yeah. You know that's not gonna happen. He will eat them.
Gore Patch Studio says, I love Carl. He had me laughing at Phobius one year as a line actor. So awesome. Were you at Phobius with Carl?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, it says, Gore Patch Studio says he had me laughing at Phobius one year as a line actor.
Oh,
So awesome.
I'm sorry if I shadow assaulted you. My apologies.
1986, true story. Michael Devlin worked at a pizza place and abducted children in St. Louis. Third degree of terror says, did I miss seeing the concrete castle emblem? Yes, you did.
You missed seeing it, but you can see it again.
But wait, there's more.
Ta-da! Ta-da!
Sorry.
Ta-da! Yes. So there's a little bit of touch-up to do. Some little corners broke off, but I'll fix that and resculpt it with epoxy clay. So I'll fix it right on top of here. It'll just be part of it. It'll be great. I'm happy with it.
Degree of terror. Oh, sorry. Rums says, "Oh, that's cool." Where's the dang mouse? There you go. Ezekiel says, "Can we get the camera info posted to the Creepers page, pretty please?" Yes, we will. Cowboy says, "Jake was high tech."
Thanks.
Um, 1980 says, "Wreck diving one wrong." Janine says, "How do you switch cameras?"
I don't know. Jacob knows.
You click the thing.
Yeah. It's a virtual switcher.
So it's an up-down button, right?
Yeah.
Mantra Art says, "Multiple cameras. You fancy. It's looking great."
I'm trying to get fancy.
Realm says, "What is that man sculpting?" Sorry, I don't know your name.
I'm Rob,
This is
and
Damn It Rob.
I wasn't here when that happened. It's a deer skull. Will be a deer skull.
Cabo says, "Jacob, have you ever thrown a PC off the roof? If not, you want to see one?"
I have never thrown a PC off the roof. There have been many times that I've dreamt about it, but wasn't in the budget, so no.
Steve Bishop says, "Hey everybody, I'm late."
Hello, Steve Bishop.
Gore Patch says, "Haha, it wasn't me, but a guy in front of me that you shadow assaulted."
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Scott Kohler, thank you for the post to the Facebook group. Definitely post your projects. Show us what you're working on. Third Degree Terrace is very nice in regards to the castle medallion. Thor says, "Looks awesome."
If
Chad
this,
Smith, wow. So I was just in the script and asked to review for an FX job. Super pumped and nervous.
cool. If this is 24, then that means that this is also 24, and that means that this is 48. They might want to see my math. I don't
Yes. Okay.
So I think that this is good for half of the diving helmet.
Spook Shack says your streaming quality is far better than it was.
Here is, this is 24, so this is 48. 48, that's 48. Here to here is 24. And if this, if 1/4 is 24, half is 48. $16, 9, 96. Okay, so 96 inches. So if these were, let's say 6 inches wide. No. Let's go 10 inches wide.
Realms asked, "Did you get the pic of the witches?"
I saw that I got it. I haven't looked at it yet. That is my life. I'm sorry.
Line Creep Thor says, "Damn it, Rob." Third Degree Terror says, "When does the drone cam get installed?"
Jacob said next week. He promised.
Percy Eves asked, cheapest place to get the EVA foam floor tiles?
Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, cheap and convenient. Cheapest, Amazon. Rob, it's looking pretty good so far.
Thanks.
Janine says, very cool, old school video gal here. I'm very interested in this new setup.
Well, I am too.
Michael Lassiter says, Rob, you were there when it started. All we did was listen to Alan.
Don't beat me.
Still have aftershocks.
Yeah. Post-traumatic stress Alan order.
Okay. All right. So I have to kind of talk out loud because this does involve math, which is not necessarily my strong point.
And Tammy says, just wait until they install the Floof point of view cams, 24-hour live streams.
Yeah, that's so, all right. So that is 24.
They got to be waterproof because of Bella.
This is going to be half, and then here's 10.
Ezekiel says, it's okay, damn it, Rob. You're worldwide famous now.
I'm what?
You're worldwide famous.
I'm available for sponsorship deals.
Ross Richard says, Jacob, ever thought of using a USB splitter?
I have thought about using a USB splitter. However, we run into problems with power and with clogging up the lines. If we use a single line out with a dual input, so we have to get a hub, just a little bit more advanced that we need to get up to.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Tina says, we need a puppy cam.
They don't do much right now. Just kind of chilling.
So 6 would work. 12 would work. 12 works. 12.
Cobwebs is giving you numbers.
Why is he giving me numbers?
I don't
Oh,
know.
he's trying to mess me up?
42, 28.
Because Cobwebs
23,
is a jerk face.
546,800. Gene says E equals MC squared. Ezekiel says someone get out of the calculator.
Okay, so changing. Well, the numbers are moving around. So right now, a calculator won't even help until I find the right number. But having the right number will make this build easy. We're going with 22. We're not going with 24.
Steve Bishop asked, what are we making tonight?
I am making an old-fashioned diving helmet, and Robert Corey over here, who is our guest sculptor for the evening, he is making a deer skull that we can turn into a Wendigo mask down the road.
John C., you get this one. How much for the deer skull? Will it go for a lot of bucks, or be just a little bit?
Oh.
Don't encourage him, Rob. Don't encourage him.
Mantra Art says GoPro puppy cam. Thank you, Sky Kohler, for the song for anyone who's wanted to smash the PC. Realm says that is so cool. 1980 says before EVA became popular, I bought it at the Army surplus stores, EVA bedpolls.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Nice. Good call.
Janine says if I can draw it, I can make it.
That's awesome.
Enigma asks, how long has our guest sculptor been sculpting for in total?
What time is it?
85.
You mean in life or today?
Rob, tell him.
I've been sculpting off and on for the past 4 years, ever since I started working for Alan. I was at the first monster camp. I generally help doing molds and stuff like that. I've started recently, within the past 2 weeks, sculpting my own products,
Sure.
which, but they're much smaller in scale than compared to.
Okay. And it was it in life.
About 3 years.
It's 11. I mean, 8 of them at 11. The new number is 11. It's way better than the old number.
Enigma says nice.
And right now they can see what I'm doing too, right?
They can.
What's funny is I've been sculpting skulls for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I came here and I'm like, oh, sculpt a skull. Okay.
Janine says bingo. He says a large deer skull will look like a cow skull.
Yes. Yeah, all of that, those families are very similar.
Michael Lassiter says, I saw those, Rob. Very nice.
Thanks.
DM Cash says head form plus calipers.
No, because this has nothing to do with the head form. This is a perfectly round metal diving helmet, so it's not necessarily going to be head shaped. It has to be round. And what I did was I think that this is good for 1/4 of the way around the circle. So all the way around, and that's going to be 22 inches. All the way around the circle is going to be 88 inches. And if I divide the 88 inches up around, which is the circumference, I believe, then if I divide that up, then 11 inches is how wide these guys need to be at the base in order to meet up and make a perfect circle. Now, and I'm not going to measure this awesomely. I am obviously using a Home Depot yardstick, and for the most part, I'm going to wing it. But I'm going to get pretty darn round, and I can cover my not roundness by where I put the porthole. I can cover my not roundness by, there's a couple different ways that I can do it.
Realm says, and use Woodland 20-piece EVA foam sheets, 6mm craft foam, cosplay foam, 9x12 black foam boards. I feel like there's missing some context there, but Ezekiel says more old McFondle characters. Yippee! Percy says, doesn't it need to fit someone's head anyways, though?
Yes, it does. But it has to just be larger than their head. That's what it has to do.
Matrix Mom 31 says, good evening, Alan. Since you were the connoisseur of new mediums for props, aka Loctite, have you seen the new Flex Paste?
I have seen the Flex Paste. I haven't bought it yet, but I am going to buy some and play with it.
Mantra Art says, I don't know if this helps, but here are the measurements from a real one. 18 inches high by 14 inches wide by 16 3/4 inches deep.
Well, give me the measurements around it, like all the way around it. That's what's important.
The Hairy Beastie says, what are you making, Rob? Not this mask.
A deer skull.
No, not this mask. What else are you making?
Oh, hair clasps, beard and dread beads. Things of that nature.
Tarantula says, I'm going to get pretty darn round. Quarantine plans 2020.
Yeah,
That's
pretty darn round.
That's the plan.
Realm says, sorry, can you use cosplay UVA foam
For
for the thing that you're
oh,
doing?
it's EVA foam is EVA foam. Cosplay foam just is kind of a more expensive version.
Now, speaking of EVA, Michaels is now selling the preformed cones,
Yep.
spikes, things like that, and Warbler. Michaels is now selling Warbler,
Yeah, there.
which is awesome. If you're into that sort of thing.
Michael Astor says, are you making it where it will come over the shoulder zone?
Yes, it's going to sit down on both shoulders, and I'll do a pad for that. So this is going to mount to a base, kind of.
Other Terror says, good tip. Thanks, Rob. 1980 says, have any large soda bottles? Use the clear plastic with glass.
I can't use any actual glass because that will 100% fog up.
Put grid over it, though.
Yeah, I'll do a mesh.
Realms-
Or what I'll do is I will do actual glass, but then I'll have it set off like 1 inch, and where it's set off, that'll all be screened.
You might
so
still
there's
get some fog.
Plenty of airflow.
Realms, is it, so it's not thinner? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, I mean, like the craft EVA foam is quite a bit thinner.
Yeah, this is 3/8 of an inch thick.
6mm is pretty substantial. John C says 14-inch diameter is 44-inch circumference.
And that is exactly what I have.
Yay, you mathed correctly.
Well,
Realms
no,
says
mine is
87.
88 inches.
88 inches.
But we'll see how it goes.
28-inch diameter. 1980 says 9-volt battery and a computer fan hidden in a pipe keep airflow and no fog. CS Creation says some of the Michaels are discontinuing their Warbler stock because no one's buying them.
That's because no one's allowed out of their house.
Turns out.
Cause and
Also,
effect, my
it's
friends.
spendy. It's a little spendy.
Yeah, but Warble's never cheap.
But you can get some really nice effects out of it.
Yeah. It's very temporary. Because from my background, I'm just going to mold it and cast it.
Yeah.
Enigma asks Alan, who's your favorite sculptors?
Okay, Andrew Freeman, Don Lanning, Rob Botten, and Norman Cabrera. Jordy was an excellent sculptor. He's just not one of my favorites, simply because the work that he likes to do, he's real big on aliens and things. That's not my cup of tea. That's not my big genre. So I'm less likely to enjoy his work, even though it is technically perfect.
Oh, I love Jordan's stuff.
And when he does stuff that's in my wheelhouse, I really enjoy it. But I think left to his own devices, he would do more aliens.
Third degree of terror says, regardless of how much screen you use, I think a ventilation fan in the helmet will be a must. Realm says, I'm going by to order the $10 airbrush.
By Harbor Freight?
Do it.
Works
He
great.
says, the Michaels by me keeps selling out, which is really horrible. Or UVA. Habit Mojo says, how about you use a laminating pouch for the glass? Maybe for the same stuff as PVD face masks.
That's not a bad idea.
1980 says, oh, I have a bubble effect. Did I have to toy bubble gun and incorporate it for effect? Ezekiel says, add Mikey Rotella to that list.
Yeah, Mikey's awesome. Mikey is really good. He's excellent. There's also a guy named Howard Senft, who is amazing, but mostly he does likeness stuff. So, you know, it's great if I want to see a realistic version of Marty McFly, but his sculpting is top notch. Again, that's just material I'm just not as big a fan of.
Enigma says, I like Don Lanning a lot too. His robot he sculpted recently is awesome.
Yes.
The
Okay.
Harry Beastie says, Rob, are you making your clasps and beads in resin?
2-part plastic.
So this is too big. This would be 1/4 of it. So as 1/4 of it, this is too big.
Yeah.
Because, well, if I brought it down, yeah, I got to bring it down a little bit. Okay, and that's what this is. That's what I have to do. Once I get this dialed in, you know, I'll be off to the races. But right now, I got to get this part dialed in.
1980 says, do you have rub and buff in a brass color?
I will not. I might get it painted tonight, but I don't have a lot of brass this evening.
Steve Bishop says, I think it's unbelievable and remarkable how some people can sculpt great detail in action figure size. Psh, action figures, nothing. Minis, man.
Most of the time, they don't do that now. Now they sculpt it at like 1/4 scale, scan it, and shrink it down via machinery.
Justin Rudy says, hey, Alan and Rob, what are the projects tonight?
Deer skull number helmet.
Antique diving helmet and a deer skull.
Happy Mojo says, I'd add Steve Wang to that list. Guyver and the Zoonoids are iconic.
Oh, and you have to look at the Predator. He was involved with that, and also the Creature in the Black Lagoon Monster Squad version. He was involved.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful piece.
Everything that came out of Monster Squad looked great.
Misty says, nothing wrong with appreciating the talents of someone even if it's not your cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Janine says, my friend Greg Hopkins of Dory Toferkins is an awesome sculptor.
I have no doubt. There are so many excellent sculptors out there. I don't even consider I'm on the low end of good. Like, I would just like, if door is a party, if good is a party, I just got to step inside. I'm not on the other side of the room hanging out on the excellent spot. I have no illusions to that.
Ezekiel says, I gotta do some shopping. I might get back later. Hope it's a great class. Have fun, Rob.
Thanks, Ezekiel. Talk to you later, man.
Craig says, thoughts on Casey Love's work? He makes some incredible stuff.
Casey Love is excellent. I've followed his work since the 90s. We've been on a lot of the same boards and things together. It'd be excellent work.
Enigma says, I feel like sculpting small is pointless with resin printers now.
Nothing is pointless. Nothing is pointless. I would say that's a negative attitude.
Realms says, did you get your air compressor yet?
No.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for bumping my haunted headdresses. Enigma says, I feel the same way about my sculpting, too. That it's pointless?
No, that he's just good. He's just getting into good.
I hope that's the case.
I was bad for a long time.
Hello, Rodney Pope.
If I change this to 20, that's a big jump. Okay, so this is 20. That means this is 40.
Hello, Hugo.
Let's make this 18. Okay. 18. 36.
Oh, she got a chair.
Hello, Hugo.
Okay, I'm gonna go again.
Okay.
We're going to be 72 inches. I think that will work. So that new number is going to be 9. 9 is the new number. Let's see how this does.
9 is the number and the number is 9.
One of the things that I used to do when I worked in different weird haunted houses is I would run behind groups and I would yell like, 9 is the hour of reckoning, 9 is the hour of reckoning, 9 is the hour of reckoning. It doesn't really mean anything, but it does get people thinking and kind of freak them out.
Justin Rudy says, I think everything I make is bad, but I see progress, so it keeps me wanting to get better.
Justin, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Some of the first things that you sent me were pretty bad, but you're getting way better, dude. I mean, I really like the piece you're working on now. Look back at some of your early work. Look at how far you've come. So if 9 is the number.
Evangeline Smith says, I'm so glad I can watch these again. I just got back from Texas.
Hooray!
Hello,
Hooray!
Rue Newman.
So half of 9 is 4.5.
I'm going to say it means project. Realms asked, do you ever want to eat a project?
No, I don't understand, and I'm a little bit afraid.
Happy Emoji says, Games Workshop still does some of their work at 56mm scale and shrink it down to 28. But I think ZBrush is now pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm cool with that. I don't call it cheating.
1980 says, I'm hesitant to backseat sculpt, but the upper skull on a deer comes forward of the eyes, not drooped like a beak.
It has to fit a human being that can see through it.
Make sure you're looking at it, though, and thinking about what they're saying before you immediately dismiss.
I wasn't dismissing it.
Jared Collins says, hi Alan and
Okay.
Shannon and that Rob. No Shannon today, it is Stacy.
Yes.
Enigma says, you should post a before and after, Justin, in the group. I'd like to see
Ah.
your progress.
Justin's work has come so far.
Happy Mojo says, geek equals throw.
Oh. Yeet. Yeet. Did he say yeet?
Yeet.
Okay, yeet. Yeah, I heard eat.
Sorry. Tarantula says, oh, is this deer skull what we're doing? I have a dirty mind. Oh, it does look a little yonic.
It does for now.
It's a lady deer.
It's a lady deer.
Oh, God.
It's a doe.
Is it though?
That's
funny.
1980 says, I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, I've been thinking it for like 20 minutes. Oh.
I'd be impressed if you stopped thinking about it, Russ.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble out. Listen.
Oh, Rue. Am I going to get in trouble if I read this?
Yes.
Okay, no, I'm not going to. Janine says rim shot. 33 chairs says no.
It's not. supposed to do?
Yeah, Rudy said.
Damn it. Damn it, Rude.
Ross Richard says, Alan for the win. Abbott Emoji says it's a Georgia O'Keeffe orchid mask. A little bit.
Rob has the eyebrows for that.
Don't flute the edges like that. Meow Girl says hi.
Hello. That's some nice straight talk I can get behind. Hi.
Hi. I didn't choose a deer skills.
1980 says the deer looks like
The
a
deer skull
World
shows.
War II gas mask. Steve Bishop says, I was thinking it looked like an old-fashioned gas mask. Rob O'Brien says, I feel uncomfortable. Enigma says, what's the worst original horror creature concept you've ever seen or heard? Like a haunted sofa cup or something.
The couch.
Hey, listen, the chair costume gets good scares, okay? What's the worst I've ever heard of? Clowns. Haunt clowns. I said it. Okay.
Big Monkey Fez says there are foam patterns available for diving helmets. Is there a reason other than the fun of the challenge that you're doing your own instead of customizing based on one of those?
Most of the folks who sell EVA foam patterns, they have only a personal license, and this is something that if I like this pattern, I might want to sell it. Therefore, I'm going to make my own pattern. And also, why would I want to make exactly what they made? Why can't I add to the world? And you know, there are times when it just makes more sense to replicate. And then, but I don't get as much satisfaction from that. So I would rather sculpt my own.
Steve Bishop says Killer Tomatoes for his worst design.
There's a movie called The Couch, which is pretty bad. There's one called The Tire, which is pretty bad.
Rubber.
Rubber, okay.
Rachel Powell says, LOL, I can't say the worst creature design I've ever come across in polite company. Dave Jennings says shrimp.
Is the movie just called Teeth?
Yes.
And in fairness, that's not really creature design.
Or Chatterbox. There's another one called
It
Chatterbox.
kind of is.
The Harry Beastie says the 80s movie Red Grannies.
Zombiever. Where would we be without Zombievers?
That was actually better than I thought it would
1980 says, why are we attacking Killer Tomatoes? Happen Mojo says, Rob's reminded me of the mask from The Prowler. Great movie, great Tom Savini effects. Realm says, I'm on Spirit. They have a deer mask and it looks so weird.
The weird thing about doing like animal skulls is they have to sit forward so your eyes line up and you can see the front. It's kind of weird.
They don't have to, but they can.
It helps.
1980 says, check YouTube for tire attacks. I get the movie Tire.
Oh, listen, I've seen a lot of those videos. Ungood.
Tire attacks?
Yes.
They're not,
Yeah, it's not fake, it's not staged, it's a tire goes off a car and where does it go? At high
no.
speed.
Oh no.
Into your face.
Oh no. Justin Judy says rapid fire, or Justin Rudy says rapid fire questions.
I'm ready.
Omega says we need to bring back hyper-realistic horror to the table, like a mask of middle-aged call center worker who lost his stock investment portfolio and is facing back child support payment. Now that is scary.
Rob. They're calling you out, bro. They're
They don't
calling
even.
you out.
They don't even realize that they're calling me out. That's the worst
like,
part.
That was you.
That-
That's how I would describe you.
They don't even know.
Wow, okay.
I'm dying here.
Wow.
Realm said, did you hear the spirit has a Krampus prop this year?
I'm not surprised. I wonder who Sculpted looks like.
Matra says, sorry if it's 12 inches wide across the middle and it's just over 37.5 inches around. I can recalculate it, yours is wider. Happen Emoji says, Chatterbox is more of an adult musical comedy, not scary, unless...
Unless you hate musical comedies.
Steve Bishop says, actually saw one in Prime. Killer Donuts. Alright, you ready? Justin Rudy.
Ready.
Number 1, funnest part about working in the hunt.
Scaring people.
Rob?
Scaring people.
You know what? I'm going to change my answer. Something that I try to do all the time is when a kid is with their parents, I try to scare the kid into saying the F-bomb so that the parents slap them. You often have to get repeated F-bombs to get the parents to hit the kid. It's harder nowadays than it used to be. Easier when I was in Orlando and it was foreign children who were coming in. But if I could get them to say the F-bomb, then their parents would hit them, and that was awesome.
All right, Puppet Master or Child's Play?
Puppet Master.
I'm going to say Puppet Master because you have so many more options.
Favorite recent sculpt of your own?
Cyclops.
My crow skull.
Would you rather have a haunt full of terrible actors or full of animatronic clowns?
Terrible.
Terrible actors. I can train terrible actors.
Favorite dinner wife makes?
Just, yeah, I mean, I don't have. It's all good.
The next one.
You know what she makes? She makes excellent fajitas. She's pretty dang excellent at that, actually.
I like her chicken masala.
Oh, chicken tikka masala.
Yeah, I
yes,
was gonna say that.
very
That
good.
would be my favorite thing wife makes.
Man.
Oh my gosh, Ruth says my dad had a brand new car that was parked totaled by a loose semi-tire.
Awesome.
Meow Girl says the motion sensor was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
John C says in the Stephen King movie Christine. Oh wait, curses. If they made a sequel, does the car get repossessed?
Oh.
Dad jokes, we
Hello,
got 'em.
Horror Beauty. She says, what did I miss?
Bad jokes.
I don't even know. You missed some stuff and things.
Enigma says, being in the haunted house scene for a while, have you ever had any interaction with or met anyone who has an interpretation that haunted houses where they torture people and shave their heads? Or interaction with that haunted house where they torture people and shave their heads?
Actually, that haunted house buys masks for me every year.
Do they seriously?
They buy stuff for me every year.
Gross.
Back when I did my deranged masks, they really ate those up. They don't buy a lot of the latex sculpted stuff, but I normally make something for them.
Horror Beauty says, fajitas are good. Enigma says, I forgot the name. That's okay. We don't need to talk about it. Brian Leopard says, hello everybody. What are we making today?
I'm making an old-fashioned diver's helmet.
Oh.
I am working on a front-facing deer skull.
Dolores says, damn it, Rob, it's deer skull, not lady parts. Hello, Giselle.
See what you want to see, guys.
Next day, he says, my buddy told me he was going to buy one of those home DNA kits for his kid. I tried to tell him those are super expensive, and he said, no, they're only $200. Now I have to get a second job.
Does he not believe that's his father? Awkward.
Ross Richards says, Alan, what happened to those people who accidentally broke their ankles?
I assume crutches. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was 16.
So they're probably healed by now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're better.
They know it's gonna rain though.
Yeah.
Realm says, do you like Bikini Manor Haunted House?
Did you say bikini?
No, McCamey.
Oh.
No, I'm not a huge fan. I don't necessarily think it is a haunted house because I have in my mind what I think a haunted house is. I think it is a torture simulation experience, and that is not necessarily what I'm into. So I'm not a huge fan.
Tarantula says, the only real animatronic I have is a mannequin. I'm picky about animatronics. She's not perfect, but I liked her enough to buy her. This one kid saw her, turned around, and tried to run through her dad.
I think I know the one that you're talking about.
Poison Sumac says, just outside Detroit on I-94, there's a giant tire that was first a giant Ferris wheel for a World's Fair. Think of that attacking like killer tomatoes.
Yeah.
Realm says, me too. He agrees.
I think I have the size, and if it's too big, I'm going to deal with it. But I'll deal with it later.
Just a little deal.
So it's interesting to not be sculpting tonight.
I didn't know.
There's a method to what I'm doing here.
Happy Mojo says, do you have a good recipe for a reliable scar wax?
No, because scar wax is not reliable. Scar wax is really popular right now because all the stuff you can do on Instagram with it, and it's great for some still photos. But it won't hold up in a haunted house. It doesn't hold up on a movie set. So no, there is nothing. I mean, you can do what everybody else does and mix foundation with Vaseline and cornstarch, and that is scar wax. But if you get it too heavy, it's going to fall off your face because it's not a good adhesive.
Gary Beastie says, pretty sure Bikini Manor is another type of house. It's also not a haunt.
I used to make things called boo blasters, and it was a drill with a horn on the end of it, basically 18 volt, and you squeeze the trigger and it went, "Brr," you know, and one haunted house bought 11 of them, and my assumption is that that haunted house's name was Excedrin Manor,
Yeah.
because everybody there had to have a headache.
Percy says, to me the deer looks like kind of a creepy bird. Having emotion.
Yeah.
Bikini Manor would be my choice.
Skulls are all very similar.
John says, a Bikini Manor, they scare you to pieces.
Stacy, don't encourage John. John, don't break Stacy.
Thomas K says, if I may ask, what's the deal with that interview of you on YouTube with Dan's Haunted House? The guy seemed a little rude. Is there a backstory to that?
Which guy was rude, the interviewer or Dan?
Misty Jazerski says, I grew up 3 miles from the giant tiger in Michigan.
I just want to know which one seemed upset.
Steve Bishop says, a guy hit me up on Facebook to draw him a beautiful Victorian vampire for a tattoo. Said he would pay me. Any idea what to say price-wise?
How big?
The tattoo art is going to be around for a long time, so I would probably find out how much the tattoo is going to cost and charge about that same amount.
No,
Charge more?
less.
Why?
Because tattoo, depending on the size, color, and saturation, type of line work, you're looking at $150, $200 an hour, depending on the artist. The art itself, I'd probably pay $80 for. Flash,
But custom flash?
$80.
Yeah, I would say that's low.
Next, Andy says the vid is lagging here. Anyone else?
If it's lagging, it's probably you. Something you did.
No, other people are saying.
Okay, Rob, is your phone on the internet?
Were we?
No,
Look at the green.
Put it on airplane mode.
Yeah.
Those announcements
I
on
mean, I can take it.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'm not on Wi-Fi at all.
Okay.
Connected hardwired. This is gonna let you.
It's on airplane mode now, though.
Tag in.
Well, we're in the country, you know,
Right.
so.
He just.
I'm in airplane mode.
It was
so it's
doing
not-
pretty good up until,
See?
and we're back green now,
Less foul.
so
Less
Okay.
bulk.
it should be going back to normal now.
Sinuses. Peaches.
I know it likes to drop out
Bunch of
out
birds.
here a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Steve Bishop says he says for down the side of his arm. For the tattoo.
Up here? Are you talking like here or
I'd probably charge $150 or so, but it's custom art. I mean, you're paying for custom art. Now, I would draw the flash and then give him the framed piece to go with it, you know.
I would also take that flash to the artist, and after you get the tattoo, ask for the flash back and destroy it. That way you can ensure you keep the custom piece.
Or let him frame it, the guy he's drawing.
Well, yeah.
Thomas K says you were upset and the interviewer was rude, who I assume was Dan.
Yeah.
I was upset.
Was it the one where you and Dan are talking about him
Yeah.
flipping the bird and stuff?
Yeah, I wasn't upset. It was, he doesn't take my craft seriously. So that's kind of upsetting. But I think I was pretty calm throughout. I mean, I didn't actually have any idea that he was upset through the whole thing.
Cat Swift says cutting the phone bits. Any reason why you didn't space out the two pieces so you could do a third upside down in the center and have very little waste?
Not necessarily, because I don't know that I'm not going to go back and use these anyway, because I still might end up a little too big. So we'll see.
And Nico says, have you ever made a mistake during a haunted house scare?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Not
me.
Defecate, I have done that many times, and urinate, I no longer count.
Yeah.
Craig says, I'm a tattoo artist, I figured I'd chime in. Pricing depends on size and level of detail you're going to put into the piece, but I'd say about $100 is a fair starting point. It's a sleeve and obviously more. Tarantula says, there's a lot of cheap makeup tricks that you can use that will look great for some photos or short video that aren't meant to last all night. Like TP and Vaseline can do a lot, but it's very temporary.
Eye blood is another one of those. Looks great for a static photo, but it's not going to last longer than 10 minutes.
Rue Newman says, that's low.
What's low?
No say. What's low, Rue?
Probably the cost that Rob was saying.
What's the bag?
This was $100 an hour.
Thor says Dan was being an ass in that video.
That's just his
That's
personality.
how he operates.
That's just Dan.
That's what he does. And I'm not insulting him for that. You know, that's he wants to be that guy.
He does.
Okay, sure.
I've known Dan since third grade. And
I would try.
it was the military that changed.
Yeah. What's interesting is Dan, and the interviewer's name was also Dan. They rode here together. And I don't know if that was like an ambush type thing. I don't know how it worked. It made things a little weird between Dan Baker and I for a little bit. Dan's just weird. So who knows? Happy holidays.
1980 says there are temporary tattoo printers that print tattoos on skin.
Cool.
Michael Astor says Dan wasn't upset. That's just Dan.
Yeah, I mean, and Dan, when he's talking, he's yelling. It's not like he has a low volume, calm setting. If he's talking, he's yelling. So it might seem like he was way more upset. He did get keyed up during the interview, during the talk, but I don't know. It was a little weird.
Rue Newman says I used to do lots of flash. It's worth about $200 a page.
Yeah, but we're talking about a single piece of art, rude. But yeah, I guess I lowballed it at 80. Alan thinks it should be higher.
Happen Mojo says it should correlate with fiber rates. In my opinion.
I know a guy who used to make flash, and he sold his full pages for $8 a pop. But then again, that was some time ago. So
In the before times.
in the before
18.
times.
This is 18. And then if I put two
Is that
together,
what West Virginia on?
Yes.
Thank you.
A little bit.
Okay.
From this angle.
From this angle.
Over here.
Starting to come.
okay.
Starting to be something.
So I'm going to start putting together what I have right now, because that's going to be more fun than cutting more of these at the moment.
Hugo says, hi Boris. I believe that our friend Boris is capable of sculpting. You should already have the knowledge.
Well, if he just listened while he was in here instead of napping, then he would do better.
He's like, I'm absorbing it through osmosis from the floor.
You want to go to a room view for a second?
Maybe. Realm says, where do you buy the glue for EVA foam?
Home Depot, it is contact cement. Weldwood contact cement.
Craig says, keep in mind the person commissioning the drawing will also be paying the tattoo artist. A commission drawing plus hourly tattoo rates could cost someone $500 plus. Quite a bit of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say that's a commitment. I mean, it's going on your arm. It's
Yeah.
going on your skin.
I would suggest once you get your design, carry it around with you for at least a year, and if at the end of that year you decide you still want it permanently attached to your body, go ahead.
Go for it.
Go for it.
That's right. Craig says, if we were talking the value of an original illustration, I definitely think $100 is on the low side, but good to remember that tattoos aren't cheap.
Yeah, no, if you're looking for a cheap tattoo, you don't need a tattoo.
Thank you, Michael Lassiter. He linked the YouTube video of Dan and Alan.
I was there for that.
Double Dans.
Dan Doble,
In
I
the
think.
fridge there. Double Dans.
Actually like that.
When are you going to start using tools?
That did double tools. I'm about to knock out these teeth here. I think I got it roughed out pretty good. A little less than an hour.
Rob says it was an uncomfortable interview.
I was okay. I mean, I felt like I was comfortable throughout. Later, it was weird because it seemed like I was being asked questions to make Dan uncomfortable. So, but, you know, it was good times.
Chad Smith says paid $800 for my zombie bite tattoo.
How big is that?
Steve Bishop says tells you how out of it I am. Just drawing, I figured $30, but it's going to be detailed Victorian lace dress. Yeah, no, like, how many hours will you spend drawing it? And are you giving it to him in color, or are you just doing a black and white sketch?
Yeah, that's really the formula, isn't it? What your time per hour versus how much it costs to make it and material.
Half an emoji says sounds like Dan needs a tan. Am I right?
You know what? Dan does Dan, and he does it great. I just do Alan. You know, it's different.
1980 says anyone familiar with TikTok will get this. After looking at Rob's mask, I should call her.
Look at Rob's mask. What?
I should call her. Enigma says, is that interview on YouTube?
I think it. Yeah.
It is.
says
Michael Astor just linked it.
Yeah.
Above
Yeah.
in the comments. Realm says, do you have the Krampus blank on your site?
Me? No.
No, I don't have the blank on my site yet.
Nobody.
Hugo says, congratulations on the camera system. Thank you for making our life easier.
Hey, we're trying.
Percy says, Momo, that's what the sculpture looks like. Jester already says, I know there's a lot of exceptions like immortal masks and distortions and select others, but why does it seem like a lot of them are overrated to me?
I don't know that they're overrated.
I love Immortal.
I think we're at an age where you have to kind of hype yourself because of social media. Everybody has a voice, and I think that sounds, I don't know. I don't think people are overrated. I think that the ones that you think are overrated, maybe just you're not their audience. They're not making masks for you. That was Justin, is that right?
Yeah.
You have a style. You have a style of things that you like and that you enjoy making. And just like I didn't mention Jordu as one of my favorite sculptors. Technically, he's excellent. But, you know, what he normally sculpts just isn't something that I enjoy as much.
Horror Beauty says, let us all just do less.
Yeah.
Jester already says, I find people who have smaller shops and less exposure seem to have the best designs and products.
No, nobody's beating Immortal right now. Immortal is blowing everybody else out of the water.
Oh yeah, they are.
They're making us look like we're standing still. And that's one of the amazing things that can happen when a company gets some money to put into R&D. So they have more money to put into R&D, and they're doing it. A lot of companies that have money for R&D, big mass companies like Ruby's, let's say, and they don't make phenomenal masks, they make Halloween masks, but you know, they don't really spend it on R&D. They spend it on marketing to sell more masks. And Immortal has beaten the marketing engine. Their product is so good, they don't have to talk about how good they are. People just know.
Bruce says, Bob, just get it tattooed. To spend good money on it. Good tattoos aren't cheap, and cheap tattoos aren't good. Chad with the $800 zombie bite tattoo, he says, it's the back of my calf from ankle to 2/3 of the way up the leg.
$800? I'd like to see a picture of that.
Yeah, throw it on the creepers group, Chad. Steve
Then
Bishop
there'll be a
says,
tattoo for it.
I'm going to ink it first and then see if he wants color. I sent him a sample and he said perfect, just bustier. Lord. Enigma says, Alan, do you agree that the sculpting community is a small community compared to all the other arts?
No. Well, yes. Here's the problem with that. The community that we see, that I see, is a fairly tight community, but you're only seeing the people who post. On Latex Mask Central, there's 15,000 members. So there's a lot of people on there who just don't post all the time. These live feeds, and different animal, I understand. They get like 2,000 views over the course of a week, 2,000 or 3,000 views over a week. Who's watching them? Because there's 40 of us who comment and talk back and forth quite a bit, but yeah, whatever I was going to say.
Mike Murphy has asked me not to read his comment out loud.
Great,
So I won't.
I appreciate that.
Diana Guerrero says, what do you think of CFX masks?
Oh, I love them. They're great too.
My first haunt mask was a CFX mask. It
Well,
works
CFX
great.
is a great company.
Larry Hughes says, Andrew is a great sculptor.
He is.
Yep.
Robert White says, hello everybody.
Hello, Robert White.
Captain Mojo says, what impresses me the most with Jordy was how fast he is while the quality is so high. I think
Yeah.
the CFX is another good one too, probably neck and neck with Immortal.
I don't think they're neck and neck. I don't think they're neck and neck as far as innovation goes.
Are we limiting this conversation purely silicone?
Steve Bishop says, come on IT guy, it's lagging.
Ministry of Masks produced some really interesting designs.
Craig says, been watching Face Off recently, totally forgot about it. Got 4 seasons to catch up.
Yeah, isn't that a great show?
It's a little cheesy, but it's a decent show. Michael Astor says, also besides Andrew Freeman and Mortal, people get people like Jordy and Casey Love do sculpting in the spot. 1980 says, well, high-end silicone masks look good, but I like traditional style. If I'm not on Star Trek or the Monster of the Week. The Monster in the Flick of the Week.
Look at Rubber Gorilla and Ministry of Masks.
Cat Swift says, another newbie question, what does the silver box do?
This is a dog crate. This is an animal crate, and I have a heat gun hooked up to it, and it's an oven. So I'm warming up the foam so that I will be able to make it into a dome circle thing.
Justin Rudy says, I don't want it to sound like I don't respect them because I do, but pages like Latex Mask Central, no! Often. Latex Mask Central showed me so many people who deserve more attention because of talent. Chad Smith says, pick my tattoo on the Hearts Hangout if Alan doesn't want it on the previous page. You can put it on the previous
Put
page.
on Reader's page, it's fine.
Scott Creighton says, hey Alan, hey Stacy, hey Cotwoods, the hey fourth guest. This is Robert Corey.
Robert Corey.
This is Jacob Earl, who's helping with our camera setup.
He's the reason it's lagging.
Yeah.
Scott Goldhart says, Cat Swift, it heats up the phone.
It does. It makes it warm.
Horror Beauty says, like Face Off, too bad it was canceled. The Jim Henson build was a good one too.
Oh, I
That
love
was
it.
good.
I was
Oh.
actually going to apply to be on the second season of that.
I enjoyed that.
And one of my good friends was on it.
You turn around with him. You can see.
And one of my friends was on it. There you go.
Masato says, naughty children go into the oven.
Yeah. And EVA foam.
Only if they're caught.
Jesse Papa Bear says, I watched you for years before talking to you guys myself. Maybe I was afraid to be a monster lover.
It's 2020. We don't shame anybody.
Joanne Crowley says hello.
Hello.
Realm says, is it laggy for anyone else? Yeah, we're working on it, guys.
Why don't you go ahead and kill one of the cameras? Kill the broom camera, and we'll stick with the other camera like normal. And then I will try and hit them up for more internet speed, upload speed.
Cat Swift says, I learned so many things from you that will make my terrain building so much easier. Thank you.
Hooray! So this is 1/4 of my diving helmet. It's fair to say this is going to be large, but I'm okay with that.
It could also be Ram Man.
Let me roll this back a little bit.
I can bring it down. What?
Ram Man.
His head wasn't round.
I know.
Okay.
That's a hard sculpt too. That's gonna be a lot.
So I
of
work
work.
myself
Yeah.
out.
Hey,
Yep.
Let's
Okay.
do it straight
I've
forward.
already worked myself out of pieces. See, it goes together fast, guys. And I'm just going to make a real big helmet. It'll sit down on the shoulders. That'll be nice.
Linda Forbes says, good to see you, Rob.
Good to see you.
Scott Creighton says, hey, Rob. Hey, Corey. Now, this one's Rob, and this one is Jacob. No, we can't see this anymore.
Oh.
Lagging for me, too. Rob O'Brien said, how did the concrete medallion turn out? I was curious about the fine details.
I will show you. It turned out pretty good. A few of the details didn't come out. They broke off. But I'll show it to you guys in a minute.
Enigma says, based off this great, but the time limit really stops people from doing their best.
I think some people it pushes into doing their best.
Horror Beauty says, I wish that was still on. Love the Henson creature builds.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's a show I wanted to be on. I felt like my skill set would have been better on that show.
Asada says, one of my friends, George, was on the first season. 1980 says, the Jim Henson competition, I don't think they had contestants that were evenly skilled. Some seemed way more polished than others.
Yes, that's very true.
Tarantula says, don't kill all the cameras.
Well, we just killed the one.
No, then we lost the script for a minute, but we go back.
What the heck, Jacob?
Alright, I gotta use the restroom.
We didn't have this trouble before you showed up.
Realm says, I could make a giant puppet out of it. Happy Motor says, the Jim Henson competition was great, but looked super expensive to produce. Rob O'Brien says, it could also be Dark Helmet from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Steven Scott asks, what's Rob working on?
Rob's working on a deer skull that he's sculpting.
Steve Bishop says, how are you planning on doing the deer antlers?
That'll be
Well,
after this.
there's a video that I made called How to Make Antlers. So I'll probably do that.
Yeah, we were just shutting off the camera, Tarantula.
Gonna
It
hit
should
the
be back
head,
on now.
Take a quick break. for a second.
Corey Beauty says, you would have been great on it, on that show.
Hey, thanks. That's very nice.
Scott Creighton, going okay. Found I needed surgery today. Oh, Scott Creighton.
Awesome.
Be well, buddy.
I think
Yeah. Chad says it's posted. All right, we'll check it out. Realm says, I was watching Dark Hour behind the scenes. How did y'all make the giant foam blowing clown? I think there's actually a video of that getting made. Didn't Jake post that?
Yeah, he's flat. He's actually okay. So you said foam blowing, and I think you mean the big exorcist girl. But
Hey,
you also said giant clown, which we had one of those ones too in Carl's, but he shot bubbles out of his mouth. So if you mean foam, then yeah, there's a time-lapse video on Dark Hour's page that shows that being made.
Horror Beauty says there's going to be some bugs while learning all the camera stuff and adding things.
There really is, and Jacob is dealing with what we got. I mean, we're literally at a cabin in the woods, so he is doing the best he can with what he has.
Alexandria G says, Jacob! Ooh.
I bought some gear, and I'll be buying more, it seems.
Steve Bishop says, I saw it, wondering if that was planned. Haunt Scene says, heart, heart, heart.
Hello. Hey, what's up? I did an interview with them yesterday.
Realm says, was it hard? The giant foam blowing clown. Hard to do.
No, nothing is hard if you know how.
Scott Collard says, hey, here's the Make Antlers for $8 video.
Hooray!
That was got me in it.
Yeah, Stacy is your special guest star.
I helped. Bob Boy says, I saw Distortions post a video today and Ed mentioned you. Complimentary, of course.
Hooray!
Horror Beauty says, Jacob, you're doing good, man.
Fingers crossed.
Then I will keep paying Ed Edmonds.
Enigma says, have you ever collaborated with Ed?
No, not to his knowledge.
Yet.
I've turned in some designs that he made, so I guess, but I wasn't there enough.
Haunt Scene says, great show last night. Thank you.
I got to help pull some masks out of the molds, and me and Jordu pulled some masks out when they started redoing the classics line. I got to be there when they pulled out the snow geese mask for the first time. Yeah, it's a little hard because normally I can see.
Yeah, well, and there's no video on
Yeah,
this.
and
it's
I
on-
can't see that either.
That's
So
all right, we got it.
what the heck, Jacob? How dare you?
Corby asks, is Rob using reference?
Some, yes. And I'm sure that he'll reach the stage where he tightens up here shortly. But it's also going to be an artistic interpretation, and that's fine. It's not terrible. That's big thumbs up. I have a fear it would be terrible.
I'll have to go back and watch that interview. We were...
Yeah, I don't remember it feeling that uncomfortable.
Oh, no, the one from yesterday.
Oh yeah, I went yesterday, yeah. Yeah, I probably should have told the break and ankle story.
Ross Richard says, damn it, Jacob.
But you gotta learn.
Woohoo! Somebody else.
Hello, boys.
What I like about that, Rob, a lot is that it feels like a deer skull from EC Comics, the old horror comics. I like that feel.
Thank you.
Misty says, I watched too many videos where just about everyone who uses a heat gun tests it on their hand. Then they say too much Alan Hobbs.
Well,
I've seen people.
listen, if I'm going to have a legacy, I don't know that I want that to be it.
I love the fact people bring you heat guns to you to sign.
Yes, I
That
have signed a
cracks
couple
me
of
up.
heat guns.
Do you then go on to use it? Or do you like put it in the shadow box and
No, oh, I'm sure they use it.
yeah?
That's an Alan Hobbs burn.
Larry Hughes says Rob's eyes just seem a little big.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to tighten those up. That's something that I will have him tighten up. But I'm letting him choose to tighten it up on his own.
I just wanted to make sure the eyes could be, you could see out.
Just freaking out the dogs.
Scott Creighton asks, what is your role at Dark Hour, Rob?
Oof. Stilt trainer, actor trainer, makeup artist, actor, cue line actor, build crew.
Yes.
Some.
Master of none. Wait, what's
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, master of none. That's right. I just love what I do.
Ross Richard says dropping stuff.
I don't love that as much, but I am capable of it.
Always
Realm
good.
says, I love the worm people and I'd love to come see the haunt in person. I always wanted a behind the scenes walkthrough.
Let me know when you're out. I'll give you a walkthrough.
I miss dark hours so much.
Same.
I mean, I miss it so much.
Enigma says, what was your most expensive failed prop or art piece?
Rob.
Woo! Threw yourself under the bus.
Well,
Jesus.
I was just trying to beat y'all to it, you know.
I mean, you're not wrong, but like.
Shut up.
Read it again.
What is your most expensive failed prop or art piece? The thing that you dumped the most money into that didn't work.
The magnet wall.
Oh.
The magnet wall. Because at IAPA, there's a magnet wall, and what it is, it's like a rock climbing wall, but it's magnets, and there's magnets on your knees and your hands, and the wall is steel. We built a custom steel wall, and it's cool.
Damn near killed me.
That's because you're too old for it. It's cool, but it's physically exhausting. So people can't stay on it very long. And, and we're having shows where we're open 5-6 hours, and the actors just can't. So, yeah.
You can scroll back up a little bit. Sorry.
Chain.
I have a
Why are you telling us the news?
Cobweb says a resin deer skull would be cool. Rachel Powell says your role of Dark Hour is being one kick-ass dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cora Beatty says the dogs miss Dark Hour too.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna, yeah, great.
Steve Bishop says Alan and Rob are doing the robot dance. Tommy Martinez says, hi guys, your video is still like.
Are you
We're working on it, guys.
watching the speed, and is it I think people are home now and they're all watching Netflix.
Everybody's on the internet. Good night, CS Creations.
Yeah, we don't lag when it's just us. So I guess going through OSB and having my phone be connected via Wi-Fi as opposed to
Hardline connection.
normally my phone is the broadcasting device. So instead of that, we're going to my computer. Normally I broadcast from my phone. And now I'm broadcasting from a laptop.
Now, new systems will require some time to adapt and figure things out, but
I'm just going to blame Jacob. Jacob's
I think
nice.
it's gonna be for the greater
Rock.
good. Cobweb says a resin deer skull APOC mask.
That's possible, yeah.
I'm in.
A hood and put some gas masky bits on it. Heck yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can do with the deer skull once we have it.
Scott Creighton says, smash that thumbs up, creepers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really should take a sponsorship deal in Australia for Tim Tams.
Are there any Tim Tams left? Are they all gone?
Yes, there are some left. Would you like one?
Yes.
Yes. Fuel for the beast.
Thanks, homie.
Steve Bishop says, emerald spray is with BAM. Alan says, yeah.
Yeah.
Habit Mojo says, you ever built or thought about building a revolving room or Nightmare on Elm Street Inception and Breaking?
No. I've not. I've never even had the time to entertain such thoughts.
Newman says, anyone want to buy one? Buy one what? Justin says, when posting sculpts, many people critique your work. What's the best way to handle those situations? Make random changes people tell you to or stick to your plan? I find it hard at times.
Only if their changes are better than your plan. Listen. Listen to what they say, incorporate it, and figure out, is that something that's going to be anatomically more sound? Or is that something that they just have a style preference? If it's style preference, thank them and move on. If it is anatomically more sound, then listen, take those notes, and incorporate.
And so it's like watching one of those old Japanese movies where the mouths move and then you hear the sound. Justin says, make what you envision or you personally like, or change it to other people's vision and possibly have more interest in sales.
You're going to have more interest in sales if it's your vision.
86 creepers watching. You ever feel like
Because
someone's watching you?
people are giving you advice based off of what they already know or based off of what they have already seen. Your vision may be something that they have never seen. Balance that with, it's possible your vision sucks. I'm not saying it does, I'm just saying it's possible. So there are times when I've executed my vision perfectly, but it sucked because my vision was not fully developed.
Mike Burke says, your diving helmet's really that big?
Mine's going to be big. Mine's going to be pretty big, but that's okay. It'd be more of a Big Daddy diving helmet.
Cat Swim says, anybody else just watching the dogs?
That happens a lot.
Cobwebs Candlesticks had to bail to drive home. Good night, Cobwebs.
He normally do.
He's he's sculpting now, isn't he? On the
Hey,
Lots of
not in
folks
here.
that picked up.
Be nice.
well,
Cheney.
now's the time to learn, isn't it?
Hey, not in here. Be nice.
Okay,
Gotta be nice.
4, 2, 3, 4.
Be nice.
That's the other half. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quarter. I got like 4 more of these suckers.
Sarah Sunshine says, hello, we're still here enjoying the stream while working on projects. We're Josh and Sarah from Whiteland Asylum in Riverside, California.
Hey, that's awesome.
Lisa says, Alan's keeping it real. Love the size of the helmet.
It's going to be a massive helmet.
1980 says most real diving helmets take 2 guys to lift. They're solid brass.
It's going to be a helmet.
Rob O'Brien says, but also don't ask for critiques of your work if you just want people to tell you how much they like your stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. The Creepers page, I don't want critique on there. I want people to say, oh my gosh, that's awesome, great job. Because I want to encourage people to do better, to do more, not even better, just do more. Make stuff, make things. Have a physical element that comes out of the time that you spent. That is what I want.
Gil Bachelor says, just got on and all I hear about is how big something is going to be. Sorry, I'll see myself out.
Well, it's a ball, so enjoy.
Tarantula says, right, as an artist, sometimes an idea just doesn't work out, but at the time you're so into it, you don't see that.
Yeah.
And later it's like, oh God, why did I do that?
Yeah, and that's fine.
This is going to be gigantic.
I think it's going to be fun
I
though.
don't think it's going to be a blast.
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:07 p.m.
Yeah, what's cool is how fast it's actually going together. It is going together pretty fast. You know what? I could turn the fridge's Wi-Fi off.
The fridge has Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fancy.
Let me go turn off the fridge Wi-Fi.
Scott Craven says, puppies. Lol.
There's more sculpting.
Yes, there's a whole other box right here on the shelf behind you.
Duncan. I need a specific
Masato Case asks, can we ask for critique? Yeah. I would say that in general, the Creepers page, the Live Creepers page should absolutely be a place where we just celebrate the fact that people are making stuff. But if you ask for critique specifically, by all means, man.
That's what I was looking
But also, let's keep it constructive.
The fridge's Wi-Fi is off.
Rob O'Brien says it could also be a culprit.
Yeah?
Steve Bishop says critiquing is not to be harsh, it's to help you see what you didn't.
Yes. That is exactly what critiquing is for.
And yeah, specifically on the Creepers page, if people ask, then sure. But generally speaking, let's keep it a
As
place
long
where-
as it's constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Not, you suck and you should feel bad.
Rue Newman says, save me some.
No.
Somewhat. He gets none.
He's talking about Tim Tams.
Horror Beauty says, really? Oh, my fridge has an ice maker. Guess what? The fridge has Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Well,
Craig says, just finish the antler video. You have a hack for everything, Alan, you freaking wizard.
I like to make stuff, and I'm lazy. Therefore, I find creative new ways to make stuff.
Hey, no biting. No biting in the shop. No. Happen Mojo says, CC equals constructive criticism. Ronnie Pope says, if I see people doing something horrible in anything I post, please let me know. I want to get better with everything I do. Or if people see something horrible in anything I post, please let me know. Rue says, wow, that's behind. Signed heat gun.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Scott Kohler, for the link to the Facebook group. Join us. One of us. Meow Girl says, just ordered some of your merch.
Hey,
What'd you
thank
get,
you.
Meow Girl?
Thank you.
He's trying to buy a new boat.
What?
You need to go fishing.
You know what, though? I'm not going to go fishing. I'm going to go fishing on my birthday.
Eight for lump.
And I'm going to go wade fishing. I love wade fishing.
Nice.
Come on, guys. Come on, over here.
They decided to fight right there.
They did.
Because you need to fish. It's been a while.
It has been. It's been too long.
Do you like fishing? You let
They
me
had
know.
their
I'll
dinner?
go wade fishing with
No. I should probably do that. Okay. You guys hungry?
Whoa.
You guys want to go eat? Well, go find you something.
Steve
No,
Bishop
come on, let's go.
says, so saying Rob is sculpting porn, is that constructive criticism? Just kidding.
Depends on what you're into, guys.
It's nothing like that anymore.
Craig says, I was tempted to share some of my illustration work on the Sylvie's page, but wasn't sure if it was appropriate not being masked and all. Craig, share it, man. We're all artists of different stuff. And, Masato throws his artwork up there, and we freaking love it. Realms will have to wait for him to come back. If you don't mind repeating your question when he gets back in here, so we can make sure that he gets it. 1980 says, I'm guessing Rob is looking at a European mount as the reference for the skull.
I am.
He is. I saw it. Oh, good night, Michael Lassiter. Rob, tell us.
Tennis story. So, the interview all y'all were talking about earlier is from Dan Baker. And I worked for Dan in the beginning of my haunt career, and we created Dan's Haunted House, that Japanese haunted house. That lasted for about 5 years. Dan is a cult of personality. For sure. I've known him since the 3rd grade. And he's always been loud. He's a good guy. I had no problems with him. But I really liked the Japanese haunted house that we made. I thought it was lots of fun.
Yeah. Chad Smith says, I have no right to critique anyone. I also have a hard time doing it. Never really know if it's an artistic choice or an accident. Well, you know, you can always ask. We were talking about that earlier, that Alan was asking someone in Latex Mass Central why he made a choice he did, and people were upset. You should question art. Like, no, you can question that.
You should absolutely question it.
Meow Girl got the hoodie. Yes.
There's a hoodie?
Yeah, it's on the Teespring store.
Oh. Is there,
Let's see. Oh, he's not here. I can read the pun. Stacy, why does the fridge have Wi-Fi? Is it downloading Coldplay?
Jesus.
Your lady says, great job, Rob.
Thanks, babe.
Thor says, looking good, damn it, Rob.
Thanks.
Masato K says, thanks. Masato, you are really, really incredibly talented. I got my Masters of the Universe shirt and it looks so cool. Hugo says, congratulations, Rob. It looks very well done.
Thanks. It's getting there. Appreciate it.
Scott Crane says, Rob, what's your top 3 stilt walking tips?
Hydrate, limber up, 2 pairs of socks.
Quality.
Think about the problem most people make. Where's the camera?
Fine.
Okay. The problem most people make with stilts is they don't properly take into account that you are now on a portable stage and that your range of influence is much greater than it is on the ground. You can interact with people 30 feet away. A lot of people tend to get limited in their thinking and think, oh, I just interact with these people here, but you are seen everywhere. You are on a portable stage. And so lumbering around isn't really going to do the trick for you. You got to get out there and actually act. It's a lot of fun. But hydrate, 2 pairs of socks, shin guards, comfortable pants, and don't fall. But if you are going to fall, you put your hands next to your head and try to, because if you do this, you'll break your arms. So,
That would be bad.
yeah.
Craig says, download some Ice Cube on that thing while you're at it. Chad Smith says, Stacey, I love your laugh.
One of Alan's favorite videos is of me
Why thank you.
on stilts and slipping into scissor splits. And every time he's depressed at work, he just watches it and laughs and laughs and laughs.
Rue says we're a full 5 minutes behind. Rue from Alexa. That may just be you, Rue. I think we got some other people responding in real time. So I just thanks. Yeah, I got mine too. It's awesome. Yes, I mean, that is the coolest shirt. Steve Bishop said, I think Rob's sculpt is cool. Kind of a different, creepy look for like a plague mask. Sarah Sunshine, I just ordered my first load of supplies to start sculpting. I'll be picking it all up tomorrow. Your live
Nice.
streams have inspired me to start my sculpting journey. Yes! Sarah, post your stuff on the Still Peace Live Creepers group. We definitely want to see.
Please.
Tarantula says, I'm jealous. I want to fish. Tarantula says, I'm jealous. I want to fish. Shoulders were messed up and my kidneys failed a few years back. I'm still recovering. I finally felt like I could do it, but now our rivers aren't safe to eat from.
Yeah, I don't ever eat what I catch. I go for sport.
One of our newer Sarah Sunshine, she just got all her sculpting supplies in. She said you inspired her to start her sculpting journey.
Awesome. That's great. I want to see your work.
Thomas K says the refrigerator plays in MP freeze format. Kenny says, I hung sheetrock and did taping on stilts for almost 5 years.
So you know.
2.
Scott Creighton asks, how high do you go on stilts? 18 inches, 24 inches?
Either or, it depends. Normally I run around with 2.5 feet. Up 2.5 feet, so 18 inches.
No, that's 1.5 feet.
Oh, sorry.
Rob, you normally walk at 24, by the way.
I do.
Yeah.
But I'm usually outside in-house. We keep them at 15 inches, so you can get through doorways.
15 to 18.
Brew Newman, yep, reloaded, much better. He was 5 minutes behind, Brew was. That's why he was
Okay.
responding just we had no idea. Good job, Brew.
Half. 1, 2, 3. Need one more.
Okay, how do we do that?
How do we do what?
We might just restart streaming from your phone.
From your phone.
How bad's the lag?
It's, what I'm seeing right now is that we're dropping frames. It goes good for about a good 5-10 minutes for green, and then about for a good minute to 2 minutes we start dropping frames, and then it'll go back to green.
Why is that?
It could, I believe it's actually related to the hardware on the computer.
My computer's too slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve Bishop says, I walk on stilts every day for work and have fallen plenty.
It's never fun.
1980 says, picture a deer head looking at you dead on, and you think where the nostrils would be, they'd be higher, almost level with the bottom of the eyes and farther forward like the goat mask.
But he's not looking at you dead on. This isn't straight. This is pretty far down. So
And
it kind of takes a 90-degree turn, which I'm okay with.
Tarantula says, we want to eat the fishy delishy. I used to bring home coolers full of white perch for the dogs and cats because there's no limit on those. Ooh! Took a ride.
Tell me if I'm showing you anything.
Good.
That's good. That's a good picture.
That's a good picture.
Uh-huh.
Chad Smith says, have you ever ran casting latex for facial prosthetics?
No. Casting latex is not good for facial prosthetics. There's too much ammonia in it, and it can aggravate the skin. I would go with a makeup latex if you're using it for prosthetics.
Realms was so nice as to repeat his question before he came back. That big monster that you made a few years ago, that was slimy. How did you make it?
Realms, what are you talking about?
Yeah, get it. Be a little more
Can I
specific.
buy a vowel? That big monster that you make. You know how many big monsters I make a year?
1980 says that orientation looks like a guy with a skull in his face. Ah! Hey,
Yes.
get out, horse.
Yes.
Or
It
get
is
out.
going to be a guy with a skull on his face.
Steve Bishop said voices and mouths don't match. We're watching Kung Fu. We're working on it, guys. Joanne says mine is like stop action.
like Shannon's home.
No.
Robert
Not
Martin
till
says,
midnight.
Clay. Steve Bishop says,
Yeah, because I got a face full of clay. That's why he said that. So, what we could do is stop the live stream and then pick up like normal with the phone. So, we're going to go off of the air for about 5 minutes and then we'll come right back. All right, gang? Hang out. We'll be right back.
After these recorded messages.
Would you post that in the as a message too, just so folks who can't hear could
are we still streaming?
see it?
Yes, okay, just for a second, the shirts that you guys are both wearing, these are only available from the Still Beast website.
Yes, these are Still Beast website shirts, whereas there's a lot of Teespring shirts too. Yes. I don't know that there's a Still Beast shirt over there. That's Masters of the Universe, and there is Monster Maker.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bounce off. In case you don't join us again, we're gonna come back. But in case you decide not to, I'm gonna say you gotta get ready to close it down. You ready to close it down?